This series is intended for mature audiences.
Well, where am I? Last thing I remember is I was playing my VR game and finding a new glitch room. Now I'm standing here in a room with Spencer, the strongest girl from my class, and some dude named Max. Spencer got here after watching cringy videos of her crush, Regina, and getting all really gross at the gym. Max was apparently doing some model shoot or something, and he mentioned something about soup, but I really wasn't paying that much attention. I don't know, man, I just really want to go home. But this big creepy head thing said something about rangers? Weird.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
A universe in peril.
The clang of sword hitting sword.
The beating of iron hearts in chests.
The smell of horse sweat and the clink of bullets being loaded into a six-shooter.
The scent of fresh, unsullied wilderness.
The galaxy's most unlikely group of heroes.
The rolling thunder of war machines.
The electric energy of an adventure yet to unfold.
An enemy like none other.
The rattle of spurs.
The smell of raw magic searing the air.
The rumblings of an unholy union.
The true power of teamwork.
The bitter sting of a dust storm on your skin.
The clattering of spent lead.
The haunting low of 1,000 longhorns on the Texas prairie.
The
Multiverse
Collective.
Collective.
So you hear this voice, and you all turn around and you see this just fucking massive, bald, floating head in that tube with all the crystals in it, and it's freaky. Even for an adult like you, Max, this is shit you wouldn't expect to see.
I think when the face shows up, I think Max is the first one to be like, oh, okay, all right.
Murphy is gonna step behind Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer immediately steps over and she's ready to fight this fucking thing.
What is that? What is that? Big scary face in the wall?
I am Zordon.
That doesn't help.
I summoned you here because you are the new hope for Angel Grove. You are now a team called the Power Rangers. And then in the background you hear just some absolute sick metal chords going.
Max is looking around frantically for any signs of Phoebe involvement, and he's just again, looks at the watch that he is not wearing, and he's just like, oh boy, I really hope they're paying me overtime for this.
I think Murphy's sort of looking around a little bit. He still is under the impression that he's in his VR goggles.
Spencer is just confused.
So Murphy's gonna look around and he'll be like, wow, this is all new. I don't remember any of this. Is this new content or something? What's going on here?
Do you want to roll and assess the situation? So roll 2d6 plus superior.
That is a 10.
Okay, so you can ask 2 questions.
Would I recognize either of the people with me?
I feel like you probably would recognize Spencer, as she goes to the same high school as you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had any interaction in school. Probably not, as you say. You were ostracized in school, and you don't really speak to anybody. And the other guy is just a guy in a suit.
You're not Indigo Strut right now, right? You're Max?
No, I'm
okay,
Max Brown.
So I wouldn't recognize you as the famous hero. Okay.
Not at all.
He is just an absolutely jacked 6'4" man in a suit.
Yeah, Murphy sees these two people. Obviously Spencer's jacked, Max is jacked, and he's just he feels very inferior at the moment, and he's just gonna be like, who are you? Why are you What is this? What's going on?
I'd like to posit that same question.
Yeah, I think there's been some sort of a mistake. You've called me here with this freshman and this old man.
I'm a junior.
Old man, I'm 26.
That's like 10 years older than me.
All right,
We're in the same grade.
I need to talk with somebody.
We've been in the same class since middle school.
Oh,
I don't.
right.
I was not told that I'll be working with children. That was not a part of the contract.
This isn't Phoebe.
Well, I guess that's comforting to know.
I feel like this is a test.
What does Phoebe have to do with this?
Phoebe, like my job?
Max, or should I say, the Indigo Strut.
Who, me? No, come on.
This definitely
No,
doesn't
you
look
got
like the
the
guy
wrong
I've seen
guy.
in the commercials.
You see the head sort of nod at you, and you just instantly change into the Indigo Strut outfit.
Oh, I'm glad you're here, Indigo Strut. That other guy seemed worthless.
Passes over Spencer's
You see Max sigh so deeply, and he just takes a beat, and he just like begrudgingly puffs out his chest, and he's just like, "Ah, yes, it is I, the Indigo Strut. The Indigo Strut knew that this was the plan all along, of course."
And you hear the head just sort of sigh and go, Max, calm down.
You promise this? I'm not on the clock, right?
You are not on the clock.
He immediately deflates.
Oh,
Murphy, you are not in a VR game.
oh no.
It's the voice. It's killing me. It's all I can think about is the poor fucking deputy who pissed his pants. Anyway.
Spencer, this isn't your bedroom.
That's weird.
Kind of.
That's a weird thing to say.
That is a weird thing to say. You're a floating head. Of course, this isn't my bedroom. There are
Are
like,
you?
May I remind you
four
that
of
these
us
are
here.
children, and I am an adult.
Yeah, I don't want this weird old man in my bedroom.
Stop calling me old.
You are 28.
I'm 26.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't paying
Have you
much
seen me
attention.
do things? I don't want you to have seen me do things.
Yeah.
I have not seen you do anything.
Then why
Oh,
are
so
we
you're not
here? You
saying
haven't
I-
seen us do anything.
If you give me a moment, I will explain to you, Spencer. you can see the face starts look a little bit pissed off from just the constant interruptions.
Look, Mr. Zordon, was it? I really hate to do this, but if this is like a PR thing, I'm gonna have to bill you for this time. I don't shoot the messenger, but
Yeah,
Max,
same.
Just shut up for a
My
moment.
time
and
is
let
very
me
important.
explain what's going on. The three of you, were chosen, not by myself. You were all visited by a blinding light, correct?
I mean, I found a glitch in a game, but yeah.
the soup kitchen.
The soup kitchen.
Wait, could you pop one of my protein pancakes over here? I had like 2 more to go.
You see the robot in the corner just power up, like move around like it's on crack, and then bolt off into like a separate room, and it comes back with like a stack of what looks like protein pancakes, but they look like they've been in the box for about 8 to 12 months just sat there.
Without even blinking, Spencer just takes one and starts going.
As I was saying, the three of you were chosen. Murphy, what you saw was not a glitch in a game. It was a Strix, the mythological creature that I tend to. Spencer, you were chosen by the Behemoth. And Max, Indigo Strut, whatever you want to be called, you were chosen by the Alicanto. This isn't a coincidence. You were chosen due to your innate personalities. These mythological beasts have resonated with you in one way or another, and you have now been chosen to be the protectors of Angel Grove and the galaxy around it.
I don't know, man. That's a lot of pressure.
That is a lot of pressure.
The three of you will notice that you have new accessories. If you activate these accessories, you will quote unquote transform into your ranger suits. These have been specifically made by your mythological beast to suit you. Spencer, if you look at the bracelet on your wrist, you'll see that you can extend it over your hand and slap the button on the back.
She immediately slaps the button. She waits for no further instructions.
What does your morphing time look like?
For her, it's just an incredibly bright flash of light. So it's like meant to be blinding to give her like an extra second of time to get a jump start on getting into the fray. Since she doesn't have any flashy powers, she just has that brute strength.
Okay, and do you want to explain what your ranger suit looks like?
For sure. It's like a very full coverage suit. Pretty much everything is plated. It's all super form-fitting, and it has all these fake-ass muscles built in, because I think it's extra funny. The suit does not have nipples, by the way. We're not Batman. But it has like a full, like, fake 8-pack abs, like the biceps, just crazy, but it is like very practical, and it's meant to just give her a little extra protection when she decides to, run through a wall or something.
Okay.
It's just very sleek
Nice.
and futuristic. Not a lot of frills.
Okay. Murphy, if you take the necklace you are wearing and shoot the arrow in that bow, you will morph into your ranger costume.
He gives it a try.
And what does Murphy's morphing time look like?
So as he fires this bow, from the bow itself, this sort of liquid silver metal flows over his body, and it covers him from head to toe, except it leaves his face open, covered by a domino mask. And you know how like in the Olympics they had like those shooting glasses where it was like the card and the scope? That's what he's got for his mask.
Nice.
So
Nice.
he, like and so he's got like a
Sweet.
glowing red light on the one side, and the other side is no eye. And his mouth is free, and then he's basically covered in like a liquid shimmering metal.
Nice. And Max, if you twist the bird pendant on your belt, you will morph.
So what you're saying is he needs to grab his dick and twist it. Got it.
You see, before Zordon had said this, you see Max. I'm just doing this because I think this is hilarious. You see Max just like forget that where the belt buckle is and just kind of take a fist and hit it. and immediately he doubles over. He falls to the ground. Oh boy, that one. I don't know about that one. And it like twists itself as he hits the ground, and you see as he's like on the ground, prone, doubled over. You see a pair of these like luminescent wings come out of his back, and his ranger suit is similar to the Indigo Strut's suit, in that it's just a pair of pants, but you see this like luminescent covering shielding his entire body. You also see materializing a pair of like Cyclops glasses, so just like a big mono thing over his eyes, a mono lens rather over his eyes, and you see these indigo shimmering wings just on his back, just kind of flapping, and he very slowly just kind of pushes himself up to a knee, and then up to his full height, and is still kind of shaky on his feet, and he's like, "All right, twist the belt, got it."
As you all morph, you start hearing sirens, flashing red lights start going off in this building. You see Zordon sort of start looking a bit serious, and he goes, "It looks like we don't have time to chat. I'm sending you out on your first ranger mission." And as he says that, you all just turn into these beams of light, dematerialize and then rematerialize in the middle of the forest outside of Angel Grove.
Morphin throws up.
Spencer pats his back while trying to like maintain a very far distance. It's like the full extent of her arm.
Max sees it and immediately also throws up.
just patting both of them.
Wait, somebody had told me to twist it. Oh boy.
And you hear in the background just like an echo, I did. And as you land in this forest, you see like a crater with just an absolutely fucking ginormous tooth in it. Like it's the biggest tooth anyone would ever have seen. And from this tooth, you see like sort of like veins of corruption or decay, probably would be a better like word for it, seeping into the ground and just starting to crumble everything around it. And in probably about a 5 meter circle around, you start seeing these sort of anthropomorphic shapes appear. The sort of bulging. It's sort of like clay. I would sorry. Right, your face then just something. Sort of like clay, like sculpting into people.
So human clay, if you will.
Yeah, not quite human. They've got very
Humanoid.
yeah, animalistic features. Like there's one that sort of looks semi like a minotaur. It's got like cloven hoofs for hands and horns on its head. And these other ones that look like, they've got like scales, like reptilian and stuff, and some come out with tails, and it's just they just look like bad news. And as they open their eyes, you see this flash of red light similar to the decay color that's coming off this tooth. And they all immediately like stare straight at you, like they're looking for trouble.
How many of them are there?
5.
5.
Murphy steps behind the Indigo Strut and he's like, "You're a hero, right? I mean, I don't really know how well you're gonna do after that performance, but I mean, you got experience at least."
I think Max kind of cracks his knuckles and he's like, "Well, usually it's mostly just kind of jaywalkers and people who don't purchase Phoebe Prime, but I can handle this."
Murphy looks at Spencer and says, "What about you might need to handle this."
Spencer nods. She's already like trying to do the mental math in her mind to figure out which one of these guys is gonna prove to be the biggest problem, so that she can handle this first. Because clearly, Mr. Dick Twist and Murphy aren't gonna cut it.
Mr. Dick Twist. Jesus Christ.
Do you want to roll a assess the situation for me, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
2d6 plus superior.
Okay. Ooh, that is a 6 and a 5 plus 2 for superior because Spencer is pretty fucking full of herself.
Okay, so you can ask 2 questions. You can ask what hair can I use? What hair is the biggest threat? What hair is in the greatest danger? Who here is the most vulnerable to me? And how could we best end this quickly?
I think she definitely wants to figure out who out of, or at least what is the biggest threat right now, and she's trying to figure out how she can end this as quickly as possible.
Okay, so I'm assuming Spencer sees things with that look strong as like a biggest threat.
Yeah, absolutely. She's not looking for like an intellectual threat. She doesn't have that.
You see this clay person that looks like a bull with the cloven hooves and the horns, and you would, looking at them, you'd say they are the biggest threat to you in general. The best way you could end this quickly, I feel like she wouldn't be smart enough to go, I need to remove that tooth, but she feels like the tooth has to be something to do with ending it quickly, because obviously she's seeing this energy pouring into him.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Spencer's not a believer in going over or under or around problems. She goes straight fucking through. So she, I think, immediately without turning to see what's going on with Murphy or Max, just charges and cocks her fist and goes to try and confront the bull first head on.
Okay, will you roll directly engage a threat, which is 2d6 plus danger.
Ooh, that is the other one that I am good at. All right. Not as great. I rolled a 10 plus 2, so I guess still a 12.
Okay, so you just clean punch this bull man, and he just splatters. Just you put this, you built it up so much that you put all the strength you could fathom behind your fist, and normally you know how much damage that would do when you were out of your morphed self.
Yeah.
But once you have your ranger suit on, it seems like this strength is amplified 2, maybe 3 times. So you just punch this like bull man, and it just explodes. Obviously, just clay goes everywhere. And like, I feel like Spencer's probably a bit disappointed with how
easy it was.
endurable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
She wanted that to be at least like moderately difficult. She's not used to having actual physical challenges, so she's not like surprised that it was a cakewalk, but she was hoping that once she got her fancy suit and got abducted by the Power Rangers that she was going to have a challenge.
Max, what would the Indigo Strut be doing?
I think now that Max realizes, like, one, oh shit, this is real, and two, oh shit, I have 2 children with me that I have to protect. I think Max definitely goes into like dad mode. I mean, he has younger siblings at home that are around Murphy and Spencer's age. So he's used to like stepping up and protecting them. So he almost instinctively does like the dad arm for a second behind, like in front of Murphy, and is just like, all right, well, if we're doing this, let's do it. And he kicks off the ground, and kind of surprisingly, where he's imagining he's just kind of running into battle, the wings start flapping and he takes off. It takes him a second. He's going much faster than he was, even him running at like a superhuman speed. That superhuman speed is like maybe 50 miles an hour. Whereas now he's flying, at least, I don't know, several times faster than that. So he does what he does best, and he's going to unleash my powers.
Okay.
And by doing that, I am going to
Grab your dick and twist it.
I'm just that's it. That's the powers. No, he's going to focus. He's going to take a deep breath in, out, and he's going to focus his light control powers through this mask. And you're going to see just this beam of indigo light come out from his face. And it's like a big beam of light, kind of like how Cyclops does it. And it's just this big beam of indigo light shooting towards one of these other clay things as Max is rocketing into the scene.
Okay, roll 2d6 plus freak for me, please.
2d6 plus freak. That is going to be a 7.
Okay, for this, you mark a condition. So I'm going to say, your beam attack works. I'm going to say you're afraid, so mark afraid off. Just because Spencer and Murphy are there, and because your powers have been amplified, I feel like you're a bit scared that you're going to hurt these 2 children.
Exactly.
So mark afraid. We'll go to Murphy. What's Murphy doing now? You've just seen Spencer absolutely blow up a bullman, and you've seen Max just fly into the air and shoot this beam of light that just is like more powerful than you expected it to be.
Murphy, he's feeling a little inadequate because he doesn't really, he doesn't have any powers, he doesn't have any special abilities like these guys. And as he's thinking about, like, man, if only the Crimson Bow was here. Like, some of the liquid metal flows down from his arm and it forms into a bow in his left hand. And on his back, a quiver sort of melts out as well. And he's like, whoa, I just think it happens. And then he reaches back and he grabs one of these like metallic silver arrows. And he's just like, well, let's give it a shot, I guess. And so he's just going to take aim and he's going to fire at the closest of these claymen.
Okay, roll a directly engage a threat for me, please.
Sure.
Which is 2d6 plus danger.
Ooh, that is a 3.
Okay, so I feel like because Murphy isn't used to this sort of thing, I feel like, he's not got the strongest frame. He's not the biggest person. He's not used to the ranger suit yet, making things easier for him. So he's not used to the tension on the bowstring.
I mean, he's also never really fired a real bow before. It's only ever been in the game.
Like virtual reality. So it takes all the tension away. So you pulled it and then you've let go, and it's gone decently far, but it's sort of done like the fall trajectory. Mark a point of potential.
Yep.
And then we'll go back to Spencer. Spencer, what are you doing?
She is looking for the next thing to fucking punch.
Okay, yep, right, yeah. So you this beam of light that the indigo strut has like blasted out did take out the lizard-looking one. There's a lionish looking one. It's got like claws. It's got a tail. There's a more snaky looking one. It's got fangs that hang out the front of its face. Last but not least, there's sort of like a smaller one. Sort of looks like some sort of rodent.
Are any of them like positioned in between her and the tooth? Because I think she wants to take some of that information that she gleaned earlier and maybe just like plow straight through.
They're sort of coming towards you in sort of a triangle formation, I guess you would say. The one heading up is the lion sort of looking one.
So I think what Spencer is going to try and do is like get that lion one into almost like a grapple and slam it through the tooth.
Okay. Again, roll a... So are you going to try and use your power to do it, or are you just going to do it like a body slam?
No, she's definitely going to try and channel all of the strength she has. And I think I want to kind of use her bull move. I think you can make a case for bull in a china shop or physics, so that she's essentially allowed to create a lot of collateral damage whenever she like really unleashes her power. Okay,
yeah, so roll, do physics, and roll unleash your powers instead of using freak, use plus danger.
Fuck yeah, that's another +2. All right, I've been rolling really well. I don't want this hot streak yet. Okay, the hot streak's over. 6 + 2, so still an 8.
Okay, so it works, but you take... What condition do you think would come from her pile driving this lion-looking thing through a tooth?
I think maybe she's a little angry. This should be hard. This is like the first real villain fight she's ever been in, the first time she's getting like unleash her powers, and it's been really easy. And I think she's frustrated that once again she's been offered no challenge.
Okay. So as you pile drive this lion-looking anthropomorphic man thing through this tooth, you see like a orb of light come out from it, and you see a giant, well, I'd say giant, it's probably about 8 or 9 feet tall, like calcified, like sort of looks like a buff marshmallow man, like obviously without like the daft face, but it's just big and angry looking. And yeah, this to you, Spencer, looks like it could take a punch.
Sick. She does mumble that to herself under her breath. She's like, fucking sweet.
Indigo Strut.
Yes.
What is the Indigo Strut doing now? This giant calcified monster's just appeared.
So, the Indigo Strut, or should I say Max Brown, he is nervous, afraid, one might say. So, Max is going to flap his wings, and he's going to rise up above the the battlefield, so that he's kind of able to position himself out of the way. And he is going to use one of his class moves, that being Take It From Me. So I'm going to go ahead and support Murphy. Would you say that Murphy openly admires the Indigo Strut?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So he's going to fly up, and he's going to scan the battlefield for just a hot sec. And he's going to yell down, and he's going to say, Murphy, take another shot. You got this.
Okay, so roll a comfort and support, and roll it with superior instead of mundane.
Yes, so I get to add 2 to this. That's going to be a 13 total.
Okay, so Murphy, you take a +1 on your
Ooh.
next move. And Max, you can get rid of your condition. You can clear your condition from that.
Perfect. I think with that, Max is trying to figure out his role in the battlefield, and the role of support, it feels good for him. So in this moment, he's able to kind of center himself and shake off that fear of, oh, what happens if I hit one of these children? And now he's more focused on making sure that that Murphy and Spencer are able to, keep their momentum going.
Murphy is gonna look up at Indigo Strut and be like, "Thank you, Mr. Strut. I appreciate that. I'll give it another try." And he's gonna reach back, and he's gonna think about it for a second, and he's gonna think and be like, he wants to figure out what he can do to most effectively change the area. And he sees this big marshmallowy man, and he's gonna think, man, if only I had a way to make him trip. And the arrow he pulls out has a little canister on the end of it, and it is an oil slick arrow.
Nice.
And he's gonna fire that at the marshmallow man's feet and attempt to make it fall over and give a good opening for Spencer and or Max to take this thing out.
Okay, you roll directly engage a threat again and use your +1, which is basically an advantage. So you roll an extra dice.
Directly engage threat is
It's plus danger.
danger. That's a 10.
Nice.
Awesome. So you fire this oil slick arrow, and it literally a perfect shot, like right in between Spencer and the faux marshmallow man, and it you positioned it perfectly enough where the arrow sort of embeds into the ground facing away from Spencer, so the canister shoots out backwards. And there's just oil slick all over the floor in front of this faux marshmallow man.
And Murphy's gonna look up and give a big old thumbs up and a big happy grin to Indigo Strut. Be like, "I did it, sir."
Max is gonna look down and he's gonna be like, "Mr. Strut's my father's name. You can call me Max." And he's just gonna
That's weird.
he's gonna give like a quick salute, and he's gonna be like, "Nice work. I knew you had it in you."
Spencer just screams, "Fuck yeah!" as she watches this dude fall in front of her.
Language.
What's Spencer doing now?
Spencer wants to try and catch this guy as he falls, but like with her foot, like she's drop kicking him.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
nice.
So like,
Yeah, roll a directly engage threat, which is 2d6 plus danger.
all right, another 13.
Oh,
The dice are hot.
so-
This luck's not gonna last. I'm scared.
So you stick your foot out to catch this faux marshmallow man, and when you sort of have enough momentum when you pull your foot up to catch it that you kick it and you just blow away its full shoulder, and it's sort of the recoil from the kick sort of makes it stand back up again, but then slip backwards because of the oil slick. So now it's lay on its back, missing an arm, and it's looking quite dazed from the whole situation that's happened in the last 4 seconds.
What are the other two clay monsters doing right now?
They are frantically trying to stand up in this oil slicked area. So it's sort of like a Tom and Jerry cartoon when they walk on oil and the feet are going like all over the place.
Yeah.
Don't know why I had to do this with my hand to
I
show
added
you.
to it.
The thing is, I speak with my hands, and I've not had them on camera a lot, but like every time I'm talking, I'm just like, woo. Yeah, so they're just like ballerinas on the ice, just spinning around. We'll go back to Indigo Strut. what's Indigo Strut see? You're just seeing Spencer just absolutely kick a shoulder, like an arm off this creature.
I think Max is gonna take a look at these other two like clay abominations, just kind of languishing. He's gonna look down at Spencer and he's gonna be like, "You got the big one, yeah?"
You bet.
Perfect. And Max is going to take, he's gonna, in his hands, essentially just make like a Rasengan, because I think that's cool, made out of light, this indigo light energy, and he's gonna form this like, okay, it's, yeah, Rasengan, like this like disc of indigo light in his hands, and he's going to try and shoot it down at both of these other clay things. Would I be able to, like, I don't know, take a gamble or something to try and hit both of these guys in one fell swoop?
Okay. Right. We'll do it this way. You roll directly engage a threat, but just do it as a straight roll without your plus danger to it.
Sounds good. This is actually going to be better for me because my danger is -1. That's going to be a 7.
Okay, so as you throw these light Rasengan discs at them, you get one of them, and then the other one, the rodent-looking one, sort of like pulls off some of its hair, and they turn into like darts and throws them at you. So, I'm gonna say, what was it? Did you say it was a 7?
A 7, yeah.
Yeah. So with a 7, I'm gonna say, it hits you, sort of in the shoulder area. It's not done too much damage to you, but it is, a pain to you. Murphy, what are you doing now? There's only 2 enemies left.
He's not gonna bother with the big guy because I feel like he just doesn't. You feel like there's really nothing he can do for that. So he's gonna be like, man, I wish I had something I was more comfortable with though. And his bow will morph into like a martial arts staff. Be like, I should have thought of that to begin with. And he's gonna rush forward, and he's gonna try and just do some martial arts trickery to take out this rat thing.
Okay, again, roll directly engage threat, 2d6 plus danger.
Ooh, that's a 10 on the dice.
Awesome. So you run over to this rat-looking person thing, and you have a lot of experience from your martial arts training using these bow staffs, and you do these sort of cool flourishes. Like you just like limbering up as you.
I trip him, and on his way down, I hit him with the uppercut, and
yeah, you just
juggle him basically.
You're just sort of playing with this poor little rat man, and like on your last hit, it sort of splits him in two lumps of clay. That this, I'd say it's like a moment of relaxation, like not like relaxation where you're like, oh, we're all done, but more of a, I can actually do something for Murphy.
Yeah, he's gonna look down at the puddles and be like, oops, well, I guess it worked. He's gonna turn and give another thumbs up to the Indigo Strut.
The Indigo Strut is gonna like wince and just be like, hey, thank you for that, I needed him. I needed that. Set you right up.
That's right. Big help.
Spencer, what are you doing in this?
I think
in this moment.
I think she's thinking about what kind of batshit finishing move she wants to try and use on this giant marshmallow man. And I think she thinks to some like vintage WWF wrestling, because that is her primary hobby, is watching old WWF videos. And she wants to try and tombstone pile drive this guy.
Let's go.
So she wants to pick him up upside down and slam him back down to the ground head first. Yeah, there we go.
That deserves it.
Snap in, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, so roll another directly engage a threat for me, unless you would want to do your bull in a china shop. Or you can do physics again. What physics? Just absolutely use your power to.
No, I think it would be a lot of fun to do bull in a china shop, because I think her ideal version of this ends with this dude's head like literally stuck in the ground.
Awesome. Yeah. So roll directly engage a threat for me, which is plus danger.
Okay. 10 with my plus 2.
So you fully you pick up this 8-foot tall marshmallow man monstrosity, and you got it by around the waist as best as you can, and you just sort of full on pile drive it. Like, you've never used this much strength before, but you're pissed. You thought everything was going to be stronger, and this is like the one thing that's managed to survive at least one of your attacks, and you full on just hit the floor with this marshmallow man's head, and you just hear the biggest crunch going, and like the floor impacts. You're in like a crater at the moment. You've just created like a secondary crater inside the crater from the impact of you pile driving this fucking giant calcified man into the floor.
Spencer immediately starts screaming in excitement, like, woo! It's like really embarrassing.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Rangers now, they're celebrating, having a good time. They've just done the first act of teamwork together, even though it wasn't super teamwork. It was like the first action as a team, and we're gonna do a time skip now. So yeah, 6 months has gone past when you guys get a distress signal come through to the Rangers control room, and it's from the planet Zordon. You would know that the previous Rangers went into space to fight other cosmic threats, and for a distress signal to come through, things have got to be bad. And all you hear on this distress signal is, "The Charybdis, it's back!" And then you hear static